Ever wondered why some people say debt is good, while others say it's the devil's tool? Well, let's dig into that. Now, most of us have grown up with the idea that debt is something to be avoided, almost like a disease. We've been told to save our pennies, live within our means, and pay off our debts as quickly as possible. And there's a good reason for this cautionary advice. Debt can indeed be a slippery slope, leading to financial stress and sometimes even bankruptcy. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves, is this the whole story? Is all debt created equal? Well, if we're to believe financial gurus like Robert Kiyosaki, the answer is a resounding no. Kiyosaki, the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, introduces a concept that might come as a shock to many. He suggests that not all debt is bad. In fact, he argues that some debt can actually be good. Now you might be thinking, how can owing money to someone ever be a good thing? It's a fair question, but to get to the bottom of it, we need to challenge our conventional understanding of debt. You see, most people see debt as a monolithic entity, a single, unchangeable concept. But Kiyosaki encourages us to see debt not as a single concept, but rather as a spectrum. On one end, we have what he calls bad debt, which is the kind of debt most of us are familiar with. On the other end, there's good debt, a type of debt that can actually help us build wealth over time. Yes, you heard that right. Debt can help us build wealth. It's a paradigm-shifting idea, isn't it? But before we delve into the specifics of good and bad debt, it's important to understand that this isn't a free pass to go into debt recklessly. It's about using debt strategically, with a clear understanding of the potential risks and rewards. So, is all debt bad? Or could some of it actually be good? Stick around to find out. Let's kick things off with bad debt. It sounds ominous, doesn't it? Well, that's because it can be. Imagine this, you're out shopping and you see a shiny new gadget that you just have to have. You don't have the money for it right now, but that's okay, you think. You'll just put it on your credit card and pay it off later. This, my friends, is an example of bad debt. Bad debt is essentially borrowing money to purchase depreciating assets. These are things that lose value over time. That shiny new gadget? It's going to be worth less and less the longer you have it. And yet you're still paying for it, often with interest, long after the shine has worn off. Now, let's take this a step further. You've got that credit card bill coming in every month, but you're only making the minimum payments. The interest is piling up, and the total amount you owe isn't really going down. This is how bad debt can lead to financial stress and instability. It's like a hole you're digging for yourself, and the more you spend, the deeper it gets. Think about it. Every dollar you put towards paying off that bad debt is a dollar you're not putting towards something that could be earning you money. It's a dollar you're not investing in your future. It's a dollar you're not using to build wealth. Bad debt can also have other negative consequences. It can affect your credit score, making it harder for you to get loans in the future. It can lead to a cycle of borrowing and spending that's hard to break free from. And it can cause a lot of stress and worry as you struggle to make ends meet. That's bad debt for you, a drain on your resources and a source of financial worry. But what about good debt? Now, let's flip the coin and take a look at good debt. Now imagine this. Instead of buying a car that depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot, you take out a mortgage to buy a house. Not just any house, but a house in an area where property values are steadily rising. Here's the catch. You're in debt, yes, but this is a different kind of debt. This is what we call good debt. Good debt, in essence, is an investment. You're borrowing money to acquire something that will increase in value over time or generate long-term income. Your house, for example, is likely to appreciate in value over the years. So even though you're in debt now, in the future, your house could be worth much more than what you initially paid for it. The debt you took on to buy that house is therefore good debt, because it can potentially make you richer in the long run. Here's another example. Let's say you take out a student loan to pay for a degree in a field that's in high demand. You're in debt, yes, but the degree you're earning has the potential to greatly increase your earning capacity. You're investing in your future earning potential. The student loan, then, is good debt. It's a stepping stone, a tool you're using to invest in your future. That's the essence of good debt. It's not about instant gratification, but about investing in assets that will pay off in the long run. It's about leveraging the power of borrowed money to create wealth. It's about understanding that not all debt is created equal, and that some debt can actually help you move towards your financial goals. So, good debt can actually be a stepping stone to financial freedom. But how do you tell the difference? The line between good debt and bad debt can sometimes seem blurry, so how do you distinguish between the two? When you're standing at the crossroads of financial decisions, it's important to be able to tell the difference between good debt and bad debt. This can be a tricky process, but there are a few key points to consider that can help you make the right choices. Firstly, think about the purpose of the debt. Is it going to create value in the long term? For instance, a mortgage on a property that appreciates over time, or a student loan for a degree that increases your earning potential, can be considered good debt. These are investments in your future. On the other hand, debt that is accumulated for non-essential items or for things that depreciate in value, like a fancy new car or a lavish vacation, can be classified as bad debt. These are expenditures that won't provide a return on your investment. Secondly, consider the return on investment. Will the debt lead to an income stream or an increase in value? Good debt is often linked to an asset that grows in value or generates a steady stream of income over time. Bad debt, however, is associated with liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket. Finally, assess your ability to repay the debt. Can you manage the payments comfortably without straining your finances? Good debt is sustainable and fits within your budget. It's something you can handle without sacrificing your financial stability. Bad debt, on the other hand, can be overwhelming and potentially lead to financial distress. It's debt that you struggle to repay and that leaves you feeling financially stretched. So, when you're distinguishing between good and bad debt, remember to consider the purpose of the debt, the return on investment, and your ability to repay. Remember, the key is not to fear debt, but to understand it. By understanding the difference between good and bad debt, you'll be able to make smarter financial decisions and set yourself on the path to financial freedom. So now you know, not all debt is created equal. Indeed, as Robert Kiyosaki has taught us, there are two distinct kinds of debt that can either make or break your financial future. It's the understanding and application of this knowledge that sets the financially savvy apart. Remember, bad debt is the kind that takes money out of your pocket. It's the debt incurred for unnecessary consumption, like those credit card bills from impulsive shopping sprees or high-interest car loans for luxury vehicles. This type of debt can become a burden, a chain that holds you back from achieving your financial goals. On the flip side, good debt is the kind that brings money into your pocket. This is the debt you take on to invest in assets that generate income. Think of a mortgage for a rental property or a loan to start a profitable business. Good debt can be a tool, a lever to amplify your wealth creation. Understanding the difference between these two types of debt is fundamental to your financial health and freedom. It's not about avoiding debt altogether. Instead, it's about leveraging debt wisely to build wealth, just as Robert Kiyosaki advocates. So as you navigate your financial journey, remember to scrutinize every debt decision you make. Ask yourself, is this good debt that will help me grow my wealth? Or is it bad debt that will only dig a deeper financial hole? Of course, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to financial education. There's so much more to learn and understand. That's why we're here, to guide you through this complex world and help you make informed decisions that lead to real, lasting wealth. So if you found this video helpful and you want to continue learning, don't be a stranger. Be part of our community. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights on financial education. Here's to your wealth.